friends, welcome back to the Sasser house. My name is Emily Ann, and we have got all kinds of fun home cooking and gardening projects to do together today. So we are home on a Saturday. We're actually home all weekend long this weekend, and I'm so thankful. I have not had a weekend off the road since May, and so we are really excited to get some stuff done around the house and get to spend some time in the garden as well. So we have a couple things that we're going to get to first that we have never done before, and I cannot wait to bring you along for it. So let's get out there and get started. Okay, so we're out here with our sunflowers, and as you can see, these have seen better days. We've really let these go, and they're starting to be done for the summer. But I know that chickens love sunflower seeds, and I've even seen where, bugs, I've even seen where you can harvest the heads and harvest the seeds and roast them and eat them. So I don't know if we have the type of sunflowers that you can do that with, but we don't know until we cut them off and look at them. So let's cut some of these off and see what it is that we've got. I guess I probably could have used the kitchen scissors. So it says that you want all of the leaves to die back, or the petals, sorry. You want all the petals to die back, and you don't harvest them when they're like in pretty full bloom. But I'm looking right here, and I don't know if the seeds are in there or if the birds have come and eat these seeds, or if these are the seeds. I don't know. Let's harvest some of them and we'll get them up to the porch and take a look. I want this big one up here, so I'm just going to cut that entire thing down. There we go. I wanted that one right there. All right, so we've got a couple sunflower heads, and we'll see if we get anything. Like I said, we've never done this before, so it'll be a fun thing to learn together. And the garden is, we've got some stuff that's just starting, and then we've got a lot of stuff that's done. We've got a few watermelons that are coming in that are gonna be ready in the next couple weeks. So that's really nice to have some more watermelons growing. I know that we'll enjoy those. And we've got a lot of okra still coming out of the garden. The tomatoes are pretty much done, but I bet there'll be a couple that we can harvest today. And one thing that I wanted to update y'all on, because we planted it together just, gosh, maybe 2 weeks ago or so, is our new green bean patch. And as you can see, we have all of these little baby green bean plants sprouting up, and they look so good. For the most part, they all germinated really well, but as you can see down here, they kind of got a little bit sparse. And so like we have some empty spots. So I might actually come back through today and sow just a couple more seeds since we've got them. That way we can kind of fill that up, because the more green beans we have, I think the less weed pressure we'll experience. So, but for the most part, these are all coming up really good. We have not had hardly any rain. And you can see right here, some of these have popped up and they have just shriveled up and died because we have had no rain. So one thing that I wanted to do together today is water this in. So we're gonna do that now before it gets too terribly hot outside and get all of these green beans watered in really well. Another thing we started together was replanting all of our raised beds, and unfortunately, we planted things like carrots, cabbage, turnip greens, and stuff like that, all for a fall harvest. And we have had extreme temperatures for the past 2 weeks here in Middle Tennessee. It's been mid to upper 90s every single day with no rain. So needless to say, all of our carrots that germinated died. Our cabbage never came up because it was way too hot, and our collards never came up. So we'll probably in about 2 weeks, I'm gonna wait till it really cools down, replant some of these beds. And that's just a lesson that we had to learn, but now we've learned it. So this bed right here is what we planted our peas in, and I thought that it was definitely like a no-go. But look, I came out here this morning and there are 2 little plants that have popped up. So I'm hoping that if I give this some love and water it, we'll get some more sprouting up. I never really had any concern about our zucchini coming up, and they came up just fine. So I'm gonna water them in just to make sure that they're getting a little bit of water in all this heat. Now our tomato plants are about done for the year. Look at this crazy thing that is coming up. We have no clue what it is. It's some type of vine. I assume it's a weed, and it's got this beautiful purple flower on it. I don't know what it is. But like I was saying, our tomato plants are about done, but there might be a few that I can harvest. So I'm gonna go through and look at our tomatoes, look at some of our okra and peppers, and see if there's anything that needs to be brought inside. So we got another basket out of our garden, and that's something to be happy about. Right here, Chris left his string of cayenne peppers. This will be our, is it our 4th string or our 5th string of cayennes? We have strung up all kinds of peppers, and he ran out of room on this string. He's still got all these right here, and we just harvested more out of the garden. So hopefully we will be making a ton of crushed red pepper flakes here soon. I'm gonna get these out of the way. They're so cute. Okay, so it looks like we got 2 things of chicken food. This little pumpkin is one of our Long Island cheese pumpkins, but towards the end of the season, we have been infested with squash bugs. And I never have dealt with squash bugs ever in my garden. So that's something I'll have to keep my eye on next year. Now this is a cantaloupe that is rotten or been eaten or something, but it's perfectly good for the chickens, and they love cantaloupe. When we put cantaloupe in their coop, they eat it down to nothing. They absolutely love it. Okay, we also have a bunch of okra that I'm excited to cook up. I might have Chris grill that up for me tonight, actually, because I really, really enjoy eating grilled okra. Let's see, I'm gonna get all this out of here. And then we have all kinds of peppers, which is nothing new if you've been following our garden this year. Now let's look at these sunflower heads. So I might have waited too long, and all of these seeds might be, see, look back here. That almost looks like seeds in the back. They might have already been picked out by birds or something. But I don't know how to know, because I've never done it before. You know, if I peel all this back, we've got all of this in there, which is what kind of marigold seeds look like, but I've had sunflower seeds before, and that's not what sunflower seeds look like. So it makes me wonder if these have all been, because you can kind of see through that, if these have all already been picked out by the birds maybe. If the birds have been coming and eating them. I think that might be what has happened. Okay, look right here. There is something in here that's different. Those aren't seeds. And maybe we didn't grow the right variety to give us big sunflower seeds, but you'd think every sunflower would have seeds in it. But look at this. I mean, that's completely empty in there. So maybe I waited way too long and they've all been eaten out. So So I'll have to do some research on that, and maybe next year, or with maybe some of those sunflowers that we still have that are in bloom, maybe I can get some of the seeds out of those. But I would love to be able to feed them to my chickens, because folks say chickens love sunflower seeds. And I was thinking, man, that would be awesome to supplement their food, because we've got all of those sunflowers out there. So looks like you win some and you lose some. But at least we tried, and now I can do some more research and see if there's any more out there that haven't completely died back yet that maybe we can still salvage and give to the girls as a treat. I love being able to give them treats out of the garden. It's really fun. All right, well, we need to go check on the chickens. We need to take them their treats and check on some eggs. But before we harvest some eggs and give them their treats, I thought we could run inside and start supper. I'm making pork chops in the crock pot, and it's gonna be so easy. So I wanna show you how I'm gonna do it. I love cooking with my crock pot because I can just dump everything in there and go. Now, another thing that I love about this crock pot is I can take this out and I can cook with it on my cooktop. So I can put that right over my direct heat, and if I need to sear anything, whether it be a roast or chicken or whatever it is that I'm cooking, I can sear it, and then I can transfer it into my crock pot and finish cooking it. So a couple, I don't know, weeks back or so, I got a big pack of pork chops, I think at Sam's Club, and I've had them in the freezer because I cooked 2 of them, and then we got such a big pack I didn't cook anymore. Now, I did not grow up eating pork chops, and neither did Chris really. But the way I made them that night, we really, really enjoyed them. But I'm gonna try a different way to make them in the crock pot tonight. Pork chops are so affordable, and so I would love to find a way for us to like them because they're so inexpensive. Whenever I freeze chicken or beef or anything like that, if we haven't put them in our vacuum saver bags, then I like to wrap them in plastic wrap and then wrap that in aluminum foil and put them in a freezer baggie, and it always holds up really, really well in the freezer. So I've got my bowl over about medium to high, closer to the high side of heat. And I'm gonna put 2 pork chops in here. And we're not looking to cook these, we're just looking to get a really good sear on them. And I'll have to do it in batches because our crock pot's not big enough, but I'll put them on a paper plate and then do the other 2. All right, we've got a really good sear on our pork chops, but I don't want all that leftover oil in the pan. And it might be a little bit of a mixture of the oil that we cooked them in and the grease from the pork chops. But I just don't want it to be greasy when it's all done. So I'm just going to wipe out some of that excess cooking oil that we cooked them in. Just like that, with some paper towels. I'm gonna put our crock pot bowl back into our crock pot. I've got this set on low. And I'm gonna place, ooh, it's still hot. And I'm going to place each of our pork chops right back into our bowl. And now for the rest of the recipe, it could not be any simpler. I've just got a ranch seasoning mix. I'm going to sprinkle that all over top of the pork chops. And then I have an au jus gravy mix. I love using this mix in particular when I'm making roasts or anything like that. I'm gonna sprinkle that all over. And now, this is gonna give a little bit of a kick to our pork chops. These are home canned jalapenos, and I have been eating these and loving them so much. But this recipe calls for pickled pepperoncini peppers, and I don't have any of those. But I do have these jalapeno peppers, so it's going to give a nice little kick to it. And I'm just going to dump this, brine and all, over our pork chops. And then the last thing we're going to do is cut up a stick of butter and place little pats of butter all over the tops of these pork chops. So I'm gonna cover this up and cook this for, I'm gonna set it at 5 hours. It says 4 to 6 hours on low, so I'm gonna set it at 5 on low and we'll keep our eye on it. But just like that, supper's done, and I'll probably make some green beans for us tonight and maybe some rice to eat this over. Another exciting addition to our harvests have been eggs. Our sweet little girls are laying eggs and they want to get out so bad right now. I have treats for you. But first let me see what they've laid. Oh, I might hear one in there. No. Oh, looky there, look at all those eggs. That makes sense. We're about getting 3 to 4 eggs a day and we weren't able to get out here yesterday. Oh my goodness.
And a green one too?
Oh, we do, but it's cracked. The green ones just started laying, and so the eggs are really weak. But pretty soon we'll be getting green eggs every single day. Like Dr. Seuss, green eggs and ham, y'all. Look at those eggs. That's so cool. Now my girls are still little, so I have to break up their food into bite-sized pieces. They are gonna love this. Y'all stay in. I got a treat for you. We ended our night with our pork chops, some simple mashed potatoes, and roasted okra from the garden. These pork chops were so good and so easy since they cooked in the crock pot. Chris really loved them, and I'll absolutely be making these again. I also made a little dessert for us, and we just had the best evening. Thank you guys so much for spending time out of your day here with us on YouTube. We love y'all, and we'll see you on the next one.